Where are we going to sleep? In the water? So tell me about it. I want to, what we're going to eat. I'm hungry a bit now.
Ice.
I got to know Iceland, and this journey, we talk about it for almost 2 years, I think. Yeah, you and Aviv are talking about it, I think, more even. But I'm here in this process for about 2 years, and I didn't realize the meaning of it until lately when I am promoting this journey through social media, and we collaborating together for the first time, the three of us. So it's very important for me to acknowledge here in front of this audience, because it's a really, really special collaboration between us, between the three of us, and we would love for people to join us for this collaboration. We want you as a friend, we want you as a someone that wants to allow yourself to surrender to this unknown place that I never knew. And now I'm getting to know better and better, and soon face to face. So I will be very happy if you guys, if you feel it, to come, allow yourself to come to this land and meet us. Let's meet. Instead of explain the journey, we are simply going to explore here. What is Bean Water? Why now? And who is it calling?
It all started like this. One day, me and Linda Elskan had a conversation, and for some years, we brainstorm on facilitating this or that, or we have some projects that we fantasize on, and we also did some things together, um, some workshops and events, and but we always think about more, about ideas. And one day, Linda told me, "It's the water." Like, I don't remember exactly how you said it, but it's like it's the water, like reminding me why I was so much holding on to stay in Iceland, even in most challenging times, which in a way, almost what kept me alive there is just the water, because there is something very special there. And in the first place, from the first time I was in Iceland, I fell in love when I took the first shower there. It's because the water is just so pure that the cold water, it's like straight from melting glaciers or melting snow in that, and the hot water straight from the thermic uh, uh, not pools but stream, like the vapors, still with the smell of the sulfur and with all the minerals. And in the shower, I can play with these two waters, and just the cold water is like better water than I will buy in a fancy bottle of like that cost I don't know what. I shower with it, and the hair, the skin, the body feels so good with it. And so it was kind of like the first thing that brought me to want to be there, like, or the main thing that brought in the first place for me wanting to be there a lot, like to merge with the purity of the elements, to have my body build of those molecules of these elements, like to experience this purity in my body. it was part of my exploration of um, ways of decalcification of the pineal gland, like opening that sensor more and working with it. And eventually, after almost 4 years in Iceland, it it when there were tough times, because I experienced there many things, heights and lows. So in the lows, that was in a way what kept me, like not to go lower. And and one day with conversation with Linda, in a conversation, she said, "Why won't you show people this, like the water?" And it's for me like, yeah, it makes sense so much, because I went to such a big journey with the water there. And you, Linda, you, for me, in a way, you are this water. You are what the keeper of that there, and you live it a lot of your life. And it's like, yes, let's make it accessible to people. And the thing is also with the water, it's not just the purity on a molecular level, like, or even not just the energy that it can transmit, but it's the information that is coded in the the crystallization of this clarity, how to say, or in the clearness of the liquid crystal. And it's so, the information goes so deep that it's mystical. It's like in a way working with crystals, but it's a very specific crystal and that have very unique quality. I like um, here I find many crystals on the beach.
Oh, wow.
Like this is rosy, and this is transparent, and like it's just full of it here. But water itself, in its liquid state, is also type of crystal, and also in its solid state, and there is something unique and different in it. Yet, more than other crystals, it holds the code of life, or the essence of life. And I found that having so much of that crystal and so aligned on the geometry of its structure, very effective as a portal, as a gate that makes the veil between what we can call worlds or parallel dimensionalities, makes the veil thinner. And that directly relates also to the activation of the pineal sensor, and also my connection with you, Linda. Like, you live in this so much. It's like it's I just see it amazing idea to bring it to people, to know what this planet has to offer. And a lot of the work we did together was to connect to the land as part of the planetary consciousness. And yeah, after journeying so many years with it, it's it's actually just makes sense so much to make it accessible to more people. And I think we weaved eventually amazing, like really amazing journey. It's 10 days. I thought how we can make it shorter, that it's easier for people, but it just every day is so significant with the location, another location, and another quality of the water and of the land, and it's so rich. So even though I experienced a lot of the land and the water, I think this journey is excitingly epic, how to say.
Mm.
um, and that's a long version. The short version, like being water, like we are in a way water, like the physical body, like the matter is mostly but water anyway. And it's to acknowledge it and to work from that place, from the crystallization of the water, even like in the microtubules of the, like to communicate from that place with with life itself, with the planetary consciousness, just as cells in the planetary body. This is a big, uh, um, maybe, or essential description of where it's all coming from.
Mm.
I believe for you too, Linda. What would you say?
Yeah, the first thing I think about, and by the way, I've got Brandur here. We've got our fourth element.
Hello.
He must have felt the bliss and the vibration of water, so he's just purring here beside me. You know, somebody
Yeah.
asked me yesterday. I suppose it's a common question, but where did your spiritual journey start? And really, truly, that goes to the question, because I'm a child. Maybe I'm 5 years old. It's winter. In winter in Iceland, we have a lot of snow. But on this occasion, I'm the child that catches a flake of snow, and I see its full crystallization. And it's the moment when, on a soul structural geometry level in my blueprint, I have that aha moment.
Mm.
I recognize something that is divinely beautiful. It's exquisite to the eyes of a child, but it's illuminating the very core of what I need to know to remember myself again. So this will always be my answer. Water is the spark that is my remembrance. And then, yes, like Aviv says, I gifted myself this part of the earth to come into my crystallization and awareness. And this is the very nature of it. And so why not, if I am to offer 10 days of something that truly immerses the soul and the body and the emotions into something exquisite, water is plainly the answer for me. And yes, I watched Aviv and his his connection, his love affair with water, his recovery through water, his transformation. It's a potent part of our connection, of our lives. I'm not just convinced, but it delights me to go the way of water. For I truly, I acknowledge it, I bow to it as the very being that may, in the most gracious, easeful manner, meet each being that comes on this journey, in their own relationship, in their own, in the very simple of it, as well as the very complex structure, the field of it, the awareness of it, the pineal of it. And it delights the child in me. It delights the play in me. And it goes all the way to the one that sees a potential at this junction on planetary Earth evolutionary chapter to advance myself, to dream myself into a new state of being. And this has been spoken so much in my inner realms from this land that by now I pay attention to that. These are not notions of a prophecy or a scripture book driven information from the latest news on earth. This is my land speaking to me, and I'm paying attention. And why not offer it to more? Why not place it out there as a delicious, divine, crystallizing way in which to come to both relief what has been quite much confusion in these last seasons on earth and continues be. Why not bring relief? Why not bring the bathing and the cleansing? And why not bring, it's a big word, but why not bring the baptism of a new me? Why, what could do this but water? And so to me, that's the answer at this moment. It lies in the water. And I'm also on a journey of discovery with it every day since we put this out. Aviv, I am every day finding new components to the why do it this way. It's speaking, and speaking rather beautifully.
Amazing. Before I met you, even, I had a vision in my mind. I always have this vision in my meditation that I'm in a water, in a river, and then in the river, I see certain people that like supervising and take care of me being me with me in this water stream. And when I'm in this river inside, I feel that I am in a meditative, most highest meditative mode that I in there. So I know that I got it. Exactly. In this place, I feel the most aligned, and this vision shows me that I'm there. And yes, I would like from you guys to, if you can, I know you shared why Bean Water. Yes, I would love for you to share your personal perspective, a scene from your life that can help us to visualize it even better. And I would like to know, in your perspective, who this retreat, this journey, this initiation is it for? Share with me this perspective. I would love to. Would love to hear.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I'll start also with what came up for me hearing your sharings, and we'll connect. So two things. I remember 25 years ago, I was practicing on my spiritual path, the Judaism path. It was a time I was delving deep into the Kabbalah, and I wanted to get it from all perspectives. So I was also following all the commandments in the Shulchan Aruch, in the Orthodox, and having these 3 prayers a day, and so it become part of me, and I have the codes of the meanings, going deeper. And of course, the prayer is to God. And I remember one time, me and a friend, we discovered an ancient mikveh is like in one of the mountains around Jerusalem. It's like a water spring that was built into a pool, so then water come in and out, and it's a place for dipping in, for baptizing, for purification, but also on daily basis potentially. And I went into prayer there. And the prayer is, in a way, in essence, is a tool for ecstatic state. And I was searching the tangible aspect of experiencing God, and I opened to sense what is. And from that place of sensing the water I am, and same like with the air, for example, with the breath. When I inhale, I have air in my lungs, but it's not really separated from the air outside. It's like there is not specific air that this is my air, that that this is me, and other air that this is not me. It's kind of, it's mixed and it's in motion. And then I took it to the water quality, because also in the air there are the vapors, there are water molecules, and the water also flow in the body, and actually there are water molecules in the solar system, and in the cosmos. And my tangible experience was that the water is the body of God. It's like the carrier of consciousness. And same like the air, that it's not really separate. It's all the water in the universe is the body of God. That the carrier of consciousness of God, and some of it is in this body, and basically every organism holds relatively significant amount of water, relative to a stone, for example. And it just stayed with me, this understanding. Okay, the water is the carrier. Now I can refine it more to the oxygen in its various expressions, and water is a significant one of them. And in a way, yeah, the more, like, after the conversation with you, Linda, that you told me, like, it's the water. And it took me, like, you had to say it a few times until I got it. Like, and it just, since then, it just always makes more and more sense. So I'm in this journey, and it just unfolding and make more and more and more sense. Like, that focus. And yeah, to what you ask, Nitzan, like, then for who is it? So it's exactly from that place. It's from that place that one being that is the water, that is in all life. All life carries water, because water is the carrier or the conductor or it's what consciousness um, channels through and eventually come to this level of cognitive ability that we have as humans, like with a third brain.
That's why I take long showers.
Yeah, wait until you be in Iceland. You will take very long showers. I many times took like an hour shower. It's like, yeah.
At
And
least.
also, sometimes much more. And also you, Linda, you make bath every evening, no? It's just like,
Amazing.
yeah. And with this water, it's so felt. It just, I can talk about it, but to experience it, it's no need then description will not transmit what the actual experience can. And even just to breathe the air there, the air is so pure and so clean. But yeah, it goes even to the denser aspect, to the water, and actually also to the minerals, that it's fresh from the lava. It's always, earth is created there from lava, so it's very dense source of or a source of the densest aspect of matter in its purest raw new form, that then can be taken to be shaped into any specific form, because the form is still raw. It's still like clay that didn't get hard. It's pure. It's so we can take the water as like a clean sheet and crystallize it to whatever we want. And yeah, it's not totally clean. It's actually, it's from the opposite side. There is all the potential, like all the information is there, and then we can focus on.
How is this retreat is different than others in that way, with the land and the knowledge that you both have, that you collected with the years? Yeah, it's interesting for me to know how can you help me to move forward in this journey in a way that is, I'm not sure if healing is the word. However, I do want to experience more than just walking in the land, although this is a way to heal myself too. However, I'm curious to hear about it.
So if I go first just to the topic that you asked in the previous question, and I'll merge it together. There's a certain part of me that, and I'll just name it, there's a certain part of me that is exhausted. In this season of life on Earth, for me as an individual molecule, particle of that, as an individual expression, I have a yearning to revitalize and recalibrate this ancient self that I am into something that offers me clarity. Now, in order to do that, I might go to the vast library of methods and and resources to do that are technical, that are in the processes of meditation, that are in the ways of qigong. There is much in the library that I could go to resource that. At the same time, maybe all I actually wish to do, dream to do, is to remember that from the core of me. So then let me bring that to the land, because some part of me is too exhausted, perhaps, to even review. What should I start my practice at 7 o'clock in the morning with? What should I then eat? How should I hydrate myself? What is fourth state of water? What is, after I go in there, some of me becomes simply a beautiful mind system trying to recalibrate what it knows already. And what if I slow down, I simply acknowledge that I may not even know, it may not even have existed in the waters of me, what I could walk into in this very moment. So then now I bring in Iceland. Iceland is something of the wildest source that I might invite myself into if I were to come as a child, not knowing, but curious. And yes, vital with all the ways that I've been practicing up until now. But I come to that with a spark of new invention, with a spark of evolution that trusts that in the nature of me, I may now rebirth, like out of the chrysalis, the classic story of immersion and transformation, that this butterfly being that again and again gets spoken of. But what if I am that? What if I could come to a land that still is birthing? We have the most volcanic activity of anywhere on this planet. So it has already, as I see it, as I feel it, as I go into the geothermal of it, I recognize her as her, the planet, reinventing herself to this very moment and in this very moment. When I smell the sulfur of her, okay, maybe it's a little, maybe it's a smell, much like the durian that Aviv is eating, that doesn't delight me in my senses, but something in the sulfur of the earth that comes through the waters here, through the steam, through all those particles that know themselves as the library of life. Maybe if I simply slow down, use a little breath work, or maybe invent my own very breath work, because I know it somewhere in the fragrance of what I am, in the essence of what I am. I am breath work, but we've had to reinvent it as a technique so that I may remember it. Maybe as I emerge through my mind field and come into the embodiment on a journey with equally calibrated, curious people on a retreat in Iceland, maybe a field remembers itself as the very thing that so wishes to remember its divinity, remember its clarity, remember its harmony, remember and become the very thing that it already is, but somewhere in the busyness, in the beautiful composition of a city landscape, or a land that's ancient with mind patterns that have in some way, let me just use it, programmed my daily. But wow, Iceland, just to step into the wilderness where maybe someone like me in some ancient time was remembering life for the first time. And maybe these glaciers that have been here from the beginning, let's not even put numbers on it, let's not even get geological about it, but let's say that they hold a library that's been set in crystal for a very long time. And it is melting into the very waters that we're going to drink during this retreat. Will that matter to my remembrance? I think so. Do I have to think of myself as a facilitator that is going to knock on your consciousness in some way, facilitating for it? I don't think so. I think we're going to immerse ourselves in the recalibration in our own singular way, and rather delight also in the, in the fabric of our bodies being in it. It will create relaxation. It will bring harmony. And by the evening, when we sit by the fire, will something in the element fire alchemize into that? Yes, it will. And will some of the stories that we have to tell of each other through our stories of life also come into that field and be part of what the journey is? Yes, it will. For you are the journey. For the ones that step in are the co-creators of what this is revealing itself to be. And that's the most exciting thing for me, is the not knowing. But everything is here. All the resources are here. And we've put together a potential, a very significant potential to align back to the crystal fabric that each already is. And yet, let's bathe in it. Let's bathe in it and check in what the new resourced self looks like.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited. You made me excited.
I would like to continue from what Linda said. When a field remembering itself through us, we are becoming members of this field. And we're becoming members again. So we remember. But we are members together. Because it's the field knowing itself through us. And when we are members of this field, we can receive direct information from that field, which is a greater intelligence that we are just part of. However, one person intelligence can grow, it will be partial to the field that can wake up through membranes. And this is connection to a greater intelligence, and that is naturally leading to the planet awakening through us. And the water also naturally having that quality that drops member into a bigger one. There is that natural charge, that plasmatic aspect that comes into motion of the liquid. And yes, also Iceland, as from every other country on this planet, it's where the element comes up to surface. The form is revealing itself in its purest form that is not yet intervented or even polluted by all kinds of other chemicals, or other structures, other forms, other formation. So that information, it's like peeking into the source of the formation, and that supports the remembrance, and the water holds that information as well.
Thank you.
And what I think, Nitzan, and I love your question of, focusing in on what is it that will become the practice, or what will be the daily that crystallizes this. And in a way, at the moment I have around me a Qigong teacher who's staying on the land and doing those workshops. I've just come out of a family constellation workshop. I go to the land and I perform ceremonies. Around in the field at this moment, we are so blessed. There is so much that is in the soul toolkit of resourcing that remembrance and becoming member again of the human ecology. For there is an ecology question alive in me that mostly desires and is igniting the elemental part of me that is earth being, water being, fire being. I am being a member of the evolutionary sequence on earth, which is much spoken of, by the way, in a prophetic sense of here I have a moment of a new chapter heading. Can I bring that to my personal, in my practice of every day, in simply being aware of the multiple resources? Yes, we will remind each other on a 10-day journey, because a field experience, as Aviv says, can do that far more potently. The equation will not be 1 + 1 = 2. The resources is, it's a Fibonacci sequence. It's a field of entanglement of also sequences of communication will evolve between us, and they already are with each member, with each invitation and connection I make with the field that is you. I am resequencing how we shall present the tool resources every day, for it isn't given and static, it is fluid. And you are the very what you bring in. Yesterday I waited and I couldn't have the conversation yesterday, but with a being who is she's a dancer, she's a contact improv. Will that impact and create more potential in the field that we are? Absolutely. She will invest her waters into the container, the well of life that we are. And at this moment, I don't believe that any workshop that has a static framework is offering you, the participant, the greatest amount of significant evolution to your own personal harmony. The greatest thing I can do is remain water, almost vapor, to the very moment before we ignite our journey. And then I shall be alive to every sequence of this journey, whether we're on the horseback or we're in that particular geothermal pool. I shall be listening into the potential of the field to get to know itself in the most delicious, crystalline, conscious way. And maybe what we will do in that morning session is laugh and play like children for 2 hours. Most excellent. Mm-hmm. Maybe the next sequence is that we will be in meditation, in silence, walking to that water and simply be telepathic, perhaps, for the next 6 hours. And I trust in this land to be the greatest guide of that. Ja.
And now I remember also that I wanted to answer what you asked, Nitzan, about what techniques, what will we help to do, or and because Linda, you answered it, and I agree with everything you say, and also maybe I want to show another to sharpen a certain aspect of perspective on it. I'm not intending to teach any specific technique. I'm not coming to help you, Nitzan, you participant for any specific goal. It's not my intention. I'm more experiencing myself as a channel of that field that is that and as a support of that remembrance for that field to reveal itself, because the veil also gets thinner there, so it's easier. And also, yes, as Linda said, there is so many techniques, so much knowledge and experience in things. It's like any focus on specific technique is in a way, it's just limiting the form. It doesn't allow it to refine itself and to invent itself. And also, it reminds me that yesterday I had a conversation with someone, with two actually, and we were talking about that place that many people are on the search of healing, on that journey of like healing the trauma. And yes, I mean, as I see it, healing trauma, or just like there is a difference between trauma and post-trauma. Releasing the trauma from the body is so easy. It's so easy, it's just like relaxing. And yes, sometimes a person can be in shock and hold on to it, and sometimes we can hold on to it for some years, especially as babies, if it's not held in a, how to say, wombic remembrance, like what hot water can very much remind.
Mm-hmm.
But the post-trauma is, in a way, self-traumatizing to stay on defense from a potential trauma to happen again. But the root of it is story.
Yeah.
And when it's like, when someone is on that journey for that, so it's in a way, it became the identity. It's like a complex post-trauma. And also this I see very, very simple, not easy though, but super simple, because complex post-trauma is simply refusal to forgive, and therefore staying stuck. And there is the soft side, and there is the sharp side, maybe between the liquid and the solid aspect of the water. And in the softness, it's possible to hold it and not let it melt always, just to hold it and to stagnate that story, that identity. And it's possible to cut through it, to cut through that layer of definition of specific form and let it dissolve, let it melt. And the same event that is trauma, with a different perspective, is the initiation for realizing reality better, like what really is. Because making post-trauma as identity, it's in a way refusal to accept reality as it is. Therefore, the refusal to forgive, it gives emotional justification because I'm a victim, and then I'm morally superior, and then I can always project on the villain what I'm not willing to own because I judge it too much. But letting go of that stagnation, that not making a pride depend on that, and let it go, and just allow curiosity to lead. Like, I want to know what is, and even better from a place of trust, of faith in life itself, existence. And And this is in a way, if I give something to people that come, is that just to walk that initiation together. It's in a way nothing beyond that.
It's so big,
But
it's so important, it's huge to walk with someone. This path of emotional process that someone is going through, nature journey, this journey, and the support from you guys. It's so important, and the responsibility that I'm taking for my emotional state, that is important too. That's why I believe that we would like for people to come ripe. Did I say it right? Yeah, to this journey, to allow themselves to feel and to know that their feelings are their feelings, and they know to take responsibility for it in a supportive environment.
Yeah.
And yeah,
so it's again, it's tricky. Like, yes, to be a member with, like, we are members of that initiation that is happening to life, to this planet, to through water. But we can be members of same identity group, and this is actually justifying with each other, supporting each other, not to melt that pride, not to forgive the polar stereotype to our group identity. Therefore, the focus is on water. It's like the essence of life itself.
mm-hmm.
And it's not something that I represent or anyone specific represent. It's walking it together. And yes, two drops become bigger drop of water, and there is stronger energy. But it's not that I support them for that. It's the fact we walk together is supporting us. And I am not coming to support people on that path. Like, therefore, this is where I solidify the water more. I sharpen it. Because I want to walk aside. I don't want to show the way, because it's not me that teach. And for sure, as Linda said, yeah, we will sit in the hot pools, or we will sit around the fire, or in the shala, the space there, and things will come up, and experience will be shared. But even the experience, I have experience, I can look at it as my experience, but I can also look at it as it's not my experience. It's just something I have experienced, and I have the memory. So I can remind to the mind that is in the field when it is relevant. But it's us together. And the thing is that I know about myself and Linda, that this aspect we have walked to such degree, or to such amount of time, plus focus of attention to deepen into it. So also the intensification of the time. So there is more memory crystallized to support the remembrance, but it's not, okay, now I have it, I'm gonna give it. It's just, I will discover, I will reveal what I will give on the way. And it's tricky, because I understand where you're asking from, Nitzan, because many people will come from a place, okay, what do I have to get from it? Or can I heal what I'm struggling with? But in a way, my suggestion is actually to let this place go, because it's like, if I try to heal my post-trauma, then I give it validation and I just make it stay, because I give power to the identity that I'm post-traumatic,
Mm-hmm.
instead of just stop giving it power and focus the attention on other things, not on the price of not being aware to it, but yes, not giving the energy to it, the attention, not to water that plant of thought, of mind, and being with other members that doing other things can inspire more possibilities outside of the habit of always that loop, because it's a habit after all. It's not like there is no other choice. There is always choice to forgive and move on.
Thank you for this clarity. I feel it. And yeah, it's easy for me to talk from a point of view that I am here, not yet in this journey, but still I'm in this journey, but physically I'm not in Iceland yet. I believe that when I'll be there, things will shift. Just in a sense that I'm there. Linda, do you wanted to add something?
I can't wait for you to be here for the first. No, I really, wow, I cherish this co-creation, and I was with my Aquahara group yesterday, and we often think of ourselves like seaweed. This is seaweed behind me. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to reference just my innate connection to earth now. So, I'm mostly barefooted these days. I very much hold such faith, I hold such trust to my connection as seaweed in water to earth, because for the longest time I've been driven by a rather stubborn mindset, I would say, that was in the thinking that it knew something. I grew up in London, where there's many techniques, and I wanted to discover it all and be all of it, and munch on it with my eternal, at that time, quest for the consumption of more details of how I might arrive home to a place of such calm presence. And I don't have to, and yes, I did go through the Eckhart Tolle, I brought the information, the beings that said, how shall I get to the now of being? And so now, as I'm the seaweed living in Iceland, barefooted, I connect as the plus and the minus. I let my electrical self come alive through earth, so that somewhere I recollect that, yes, I've learned Soma breath technique, Wim Hof technique. I know certain divine methods that have been hosted by members of my earth humanity, so that I could recollect myself to come back home. And yes, as I walk barefooted, I acknowledge Wim Hof, and I take breaths that bow to his recollection of how he returned from his own singular story of trauma, which he quite openly declared. And he breathed and cold plunged and brought his aliveness back and resourced joy through much heartbreak. And so I have been through my heartbreak to the simplicity of this very now, that if I walk outside and I simply acknowledge what the weather is doing, I literally, and this is me as the kooky shaman, I recognize if the wind comes through my window and it's in a crystalline equation, that it's it's a memo. It's a very quick memo to myself, if I'm present to it, to breathe in that clarity. And should I in the morning in the cold plunge stay a little longer, not because Wim Hof told me so, or Soma breath said take in 4 and release 6, I like now to allow for that divine equation that is human avatar with resources to sky and earth to be so alive in me that it simply unfolds in the nature of me. And by all of that, I'm not saying that I'm there. I'm not saying that this is it in every moment of the day, but enough of that is happening that I feel my membership to the human resource being at its peak. And I know that it's this land that's my divine teacher. It's the invisible realms. And like Aviv said, the layers are very thin between the realms here. So for anyone that delights in that myth or that imagination or the very reality that we are not alone here, but supported by forces that I may reach out to help the simplicity of my being, the child of my being, to come back home. This is what I'm living every day now. And I want to share it. I want to reach out to human family that may be in any at any level of their journey, whether it's I have resolved all trauma through multiple resources of techniques and movement and somatics and cathartic release, and bring all of what you have sourced so far to the equation. And then also perhaps something new will awaken. Perhaps that amount of everything that we have done so far in this epic journey of life will now, just in this now, come alive to something else. My community is coming alive with noises now. And will become community, resourcing itself through its own equation of something so original that we are about to become.
A community like members.
Yeah. And let me know if this sound of the juicer is really...
We don't hear it.
You don't hear it?
Okay,
very good. It's morning time in Iceland. The house is coming alive.
Thank you for that.
There is a piece I know I will deepen into, because I feel the eros there, and also in relation to the water. And water already explained why Iceland. It's about the harmonic symmetry of the form of the structure, the geometry of. There is a very harmonic symmetry between water, like the water body, how to say, and the electric body, how you said, like the life force field. There is a specific symmetry between exactly those two substances. That
interesting,
or a specific relation that enables finer symmetry, because water have 2-dimensional freedom of motion, and the electromagnetic field has 4-dimensional, and this also then continues with the 8-dimensional, like with awareness itself, with what becomes aware through all of us, like awareness itself as what exists. And because these are powers of 2 in dimensionality, there is a unique, each one of them can create a completely symmetric field. And Then again, with the water, there is a unique quality of support in remembering. And of course, through the electric body, and in a way, this is a wish of mine that it will become uh, either a habit or a significant reminder for each one of the members in the journey, not to understand the water essence so much that there is remembrance of the electric, like how you said, being we are, like that we are a field of life force. To go into the finer and subtler nuance of our being and to sense the body, yeah, like in a much finer way, and to have the ease in imagining the four-dimensional motion of it, which then support also awareness in general, like beyond the awareness, beyond definition of self, beyond definition of I, of any singularity, just as what is, in the most abstract definition that can be.
Thank you.
We talked about the idea behind this journey and what is, I don't want to say what is going to happen because we are surrendering to the unknown, and now I have more clarity. Yeah,
it's written also in the page. A lot of things where we
exactly. So that's what I wanted to talk with you about. Yeah, let's go specific details. Where are we going to sleep, in the water? So tell me about it. I want to, what we're going to eat. I'm hungry a bit now.
Nice.
So okay, where are you going to sleep? Oh my goodness, I wish. Okay, the mountain to me. So the place that we are in is underneath a mountain called Esja. She is the first mountain that called the settlers of Iceland to come and start to make life prosper here. And so you're going to be in the arms of the mother mountain Esja. And it's not a regular setting. Your cabins are fabricated out of upcycled buses. Because, well, I'm a rather imaginative being, having been production designer for a long time in my life. So we decided not to do it the regular way. This is your 4-star bus cabin that places you in the thick of nature with, of course, the bathhouse is beside it. But the Americans came up with a beautiful term for it. It's called glamping, glamorous camping. But you are on very comfortable mattresses and you are nestled in a very creature comfort way whilst connected to nature. We as a base position then will take ourselves and be transported with we have a 20-seater or so, or a 17-seater good bus that will take us. And by the way, we wished also to keep the group at 15 for a size of field where really we can connect to each of you in a very it matters to just keep that intimacy and connection relatively as a relatively small group. So this is how we will travel together to the various destinations each day. What will we eat? Oh, such a good well, the very finest of what Iceland has to offer, everything that we can find locally grown for the full hydration, for the full yummy.
We're going to hunt?
We will hunt vegetables, In my vegetable garden. We can hunt. In the fields here in the mountain, there is delicious salads that we can pick that are the dandelions are growing everywhere and they are so nutritious. We are already picking the roots. My brother Michael has been picking up the roots of the dandelions to make tinctures with. The Angelica is growing now already, and she is going to offer us teas. We will resource a lot of the potential that we speak of through the nourishment. Wow, I come so alive when I speak of the nourishment, because it is.
And
Yesterday, mostly
seaweed,
I ate seaweed.
seaweed, moss, berries, different kind, and mushrooms
Yes,
also
yes.
Tell me
Crowberries,
about,
grow wild.
berries.
would you like to speak about the mushrooms a bit?
These are magic mushrooms,
yeah.
and they are amazing, particularly amazing, because they grow there wild with the natural elements, and the elements are so pure, so the mushrooms themselves, they become just phenomenal. And there is the option, like if there is a mushroom, there is the option for whoever choose how and if and when, or I mean, it's good to inform us though, but it's there, it's growing naturally, and to meet that being, that mycelia, that fun guy, this guy is fun, and to meet it where it is, it so much supports being the land, being the mycelia, being part of it, for me, being a fun guy also.
And this, this being also, yes, he is very fun, very, very full of life. He's also the liberty cap. This is its particular reference point in Iceland. So, question is how liberated, where do I feel my liberation? Is my communication fungal network, whether it's is my neuroplasticity, is my left and right, is my, how is my polarity, how is my divine communication? Can it be supported by a natural being, a spirit that so wishes to introduce me to levels and parts of my paradigm that I may not daily, in my daily walk, have access to? And so from my very natural perspective on this, having, yes, sat in many indigenous ceremonies for the last 10 years, and having deep appreciation of that version of getting to know myself, now as the land, and as I see it now, there is a potential alive, because the frequency is changing quite dynamically, and I can somatically feel how the frequency of Earth is changing. You've only got to look at if you look at the Schumann resonance, I look at the sky at night in this winter, how the aurora is talking into the field, the aurora being the very expression of the sun, the life-giving father. Whatever equation you put that into cognitively, things are alive. And does the mycelium have an exchange with all of that inside its own fabric of Earth, as well as inside mine? If I simply walk my walk, go on my vision quest, I may often, and this is now my level of ceremony, if I need it, should I choose to just look at one little liberty cap and ask of it, is there anything more in the blueprint of this now that you might harness with me, dear one, to have access to? And very often this simply focuses my awareness that little bit more, in a really always to me in a harmonious way. It allows that harmonious meeting with myself as the land and the sky. And so we are rather open for this invitation to this being to be part of our journey, perhaps on one part of it. But again, it will reveal itself with the with you,
Yeah.
that you, the participants that come in.
Yeah. It supports the samadhi, yet there needs to be also readiness and alignment in intention. And there is also the other one. There is the amanita, if there is the readiness to meet Santa Claus.
See.
So what if it's not what if, it's my first time that I'm coming to a journey and trying this, if you call it a microdose eating, and it's my first time with cold water, with really cold water. How do you suggest for me to approach it? And how do I know how much, the amount of how much to take? And also, I got a question from one of our potential participants. She doesn't go into cold water. Is this retreat good for her? A fit for her? If we have more, I know that we have more things to give, so, and to share. However, I would like to hear your perspective about it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. About the mushroom first. The best, if you really feel and it's aligned. So take one. It's small amount, and you will get the sensation. And again, it's very much depends on the group. It's an option. It's an option, and it's something that it's part of the magic that the land is offering. So it's on a fluid way. We thought maybe we do one evening, like actual introduction, but we want to feel the group also. There are more things that we want to feel the group to see if it's relevant to introduce or not. Therefore, we don't write some things, but the mushrooms is just, it is the peak of the season, and it is a magic, abundant magic that the land have to offer exactly in this time. So it's that season as well. And they are beautiful. Also, the amanitas, they are also beautiful, and there is so much mythology around them. Regarding the cold water, so of course everything is suggestible. Not suggestible, is a suggestion. Nothing is a must. Yet, let's say even someone who never went into cold water and have contraction with the idea of going into cold water, how we will experience the sauna and the hot water, and also like it will naturally become more easy. There will be a natural introduction to it, and the body will learn, and basically the body learns to relax in it. And this is actually, the relaxation in the cold is the release of the trauma, and the contraction in the cold is the holding on to the trauma.
Interesting.
So everyone have a unique balance with the temperature. This is something we will explore, and it's different for everyone. But as more we explore it, the more we can go, the more we can extend our ability both to the cold and to the hot. It's just, the body changes, and it becomes easier and easier. So after 10 days, she will need to be amazingly stubborn from a principled place not to go into cold water, because I'm almost sure she will initiate herself into that experience, because at some point the body craves it.
See, yeah.
With
I hope
all
so.
the activities we have, like she will see. She will see. It's some things I can describe, but it's nothing like the actual experience, and she will see.
I will
And you
send
will
her
see
this
as
part
well.
of video. I will send her your answer.
Yes.
And also you will see, even if you don't do cold showers, you will see, like after sitting in a sauna enough time, you want something cold.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
But this
I
is
remember.
exactly what prepares your body to be able to go into cold and like want it and feel the energy, because it's relaxed in it, so the energy can move.
See.
And as more we do it, it goes deeper, and especially with these water that are so pure, so the electricity moves so fluently. It's very transformative for the body.
Wow, it's exactly, not that, you've said it all. And you're the master of this. I mean, Nitzan, he goes ocean swimming and stays, I think it was up to 20 minutes more you were in the ocean.
I was an hour also.
An hour. Okay. So maestro. Yeah. But at
back then.
Oh my God.
Back then. Now I guess I would not get to it, because I used to go every day.
Every day. And also,
I just want to say to our audience that Kadesh Aviv is now in Thailand, and he's going to come to Iceland. He's going to come to Iceland especially for this journey. So stay tuned.
And
continue.
And it was also Aviv. Okay, so also, and I really pick up on the piece that you're saying, so when the electricity starts becoming so abundant in the clarity of your waters, it will ask of you to go to the waters again. It will yearn for the appetite that you grow. It grows so quickly. I promise it is. And it's not, for me, I would say, it's not comparable to cold shower. Once you've been, if you are, so this is a little bit like the sweat lodge of old, going into the turtle, the Mother Earth, and cooking the stones and being in that heat. Here we have the geothermal. So now you're being cooked, vibrated, transformed with fire, as long as you can take that, and no longer, of course, until you are so yearning for the cold that you are jumping into that cold plunge. There is not a thought about can I. You're yearning for it. And stay no longer than is just beyond your comfort zone. I would say always, just beyond. And then as you come out and you circulate that into a few times, body learns, body remembers, senses, clarity of mind returns where there might have been some fog, some mind fog. It switches. This is, for me, the easiest way. It's the first thing I do when I wake up. I go to the cold plunge, and I put my head in there afterwards, and I come in like a wet dog shaking, and then I do my shaking, and everything becomes natural. I do what an animal would do to restore the order of its somatic nature. So I go through a body response and a remembrance without Wim Hof telling me. But if you, of course, you have us with you to muster up maybe what is called courage, to muster up the momentum to go into the ocean the first time, or the waterfall. We are there, breathing, making some sounds, I mean, you're with me. I love to make the sounds of the vibration. We're gonna do what the Maoris do before they go and, go into the tribal clan gathering. This is what I know innately in my nature, and I shall ignite it if I need to. And for each, this will look uniquely different. And then, okay, the other part of your equation and the opportunity is, why not listen to the land by the very medicine, the very being that has been here probably from around the time of the first volcanic eruptions, it has seen and gathered and witnessed with the waters the emergence of even the human equation. And I, for one, have found that this psychedelic opportunity library inside me becomes very online. Sometimes Mother Earth talks to me like this. She's like, I'm online now. Do you want to come online? So if I wish to just plug in and source a little bit in a more refined way, I have not found a more crystal clear way of doing this than going to the earth and picking up one of its investors and I would say also for the audience, Paul Summit, who was here at a conference. We have had the 2 psychedelics as medicine conferences in Iceland now, because really the land is waking up to this, and the humans, and particularly the fields of therapy, are waking up to it in this land, as they are around the world. But there is his beautiful fungi movie, which is called Fantastic Fungi. And why not allow yourself, in preparation, in the contemplation of could I go this way, look at this community called fungi, observe, feel, and sense into this spirit of a mighty being, by my recollection, who is here and has been ally to my human evolution, I believe, throughout time space on this planet. This is not a new phenomena. This is an ancient relationship between the human in me, the animal in me, the plant, the mineral in me, to come home to the finest potential of me that I wish to live in this lifetime. Why not? Why not? Why not?
It is another form of being, in a way, the mycelia, the fungi, and I think in some aspects it's more intelligent than us, and it's even forming us, all animals and plants. It's kind of like they are managing life here in a way more than animals or humans in that story. But also about the cold water, I don't know easier way to release trauma from the body than going into cold water. It's the most effective way, I think, there is in ratio, like in how fast it releases. And of course, in proportion. First time I went in, it was 10 seconds. But eventually, after some time, I went an hour almost every day. But the body changes. The muscles of the veins become stronger with this practice, but they strengthen very quickly, and it's also very supportive for the heart in this way.
By the way,
it brings so much clarity.
Thank you, Aviv. What comes up in my mind, practical questions for me as a woman. Woman in her period, woman who is pregnant, does this journey is a fit for her?
In my perspective, yeah. Pregnancy, we will need to be more considerate about that, not to push anything too extreme. And period, that's not the issue.
What a beautiful journey for the womb being to come and recollect itself through Iceland. I think it's beautiful. I would cherish to have a pregnant lady with us.
Amazing.
Yeah, but it's also good to talk with us, because we're gonna hike sometime, and there will be also the option to stay with the bus. But like to see, because it depends on her habit before pregnancy.
Yes.
So it's individual.
Yes.
So we'll have a chat. But generally, it's of course.
And this is also why we are meeting everyone on an interview. As you come into feeling yourself on this journey, we invite you to come with your questions, to come with your very personal signature and curiosity, and we're here for that.
And yeah, that's why this interview via Zoom call or Google Meet or whatever platform we find is most comfortable for you, the one who is interested in this journey. The intention of this call is to get to know you better and for you to get us know better and to see if it's a mutual connection and then to take the next step if it's a yes, a definite yes. So I'm excited about it, and I am really, really thankful for you guys. And we are going to end for now this conversation. We're going to have more conversation on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and people who are watching, you are more than welcome to subscribe and to follow. And yes, I would like to hear from you guys. Not last words because we will talk more, but yeah, what comes up on your mind right now? Maybe a few words that resonate with you here and now in this conversation. Just as you imagine your potential friends that are going to come to this journey, and yeah, when you imagine them, what comes up on your mind?
Yeah, what comes up for me is quite mythical. It's quite epic. I see an initiation journey. I see this as going back to the holy day, the holiday that becomes a vision quest or a pilgrimage, whatever word fits and is acknowledged best by your own capacity to meet into the hero's journey. And Joseph Campbell named it the hero's journey. It's one of his principal ways of navigating with people. And I say, this is alive in this country, and it always has been. Why is there such a fever in the world about Vikings and heroes and claiming our position as the queendom and the kingdom that we are and holding the sword of clarity to ourselves? I think this, reframe. I know this land holds the capacity to meet each being in their epic journey. And we have so many tourists here, And then there is the way in which we choose to journey. And I believe this can be the very way to journey for the reinvention and the initiation of the highest self into body, into embodiment. And that's what I'm holding for each of you that come in. And I am passionate about this. I live for this. And does it get me very excited? Oh, yes. This is my turn on at this stage of evolution is why not be our mightiest selves? And if a cold plunge can shake off that residue of any programming, any debate I have within myself of returning to harmony, then let Iceland be your equation of return to core self, high self, mighty self. Come, mighty self. We're here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I also see it as a journey of initiation, not of healing, not of studying something or practicing something. So as an initiation, it's just walking together as members of the same path. And that path naturally flows with the water and intensify with life force, with the electricity, and is sourced in awareness. So awareness is crystallizing in formation, in its natural formation.
Mm.
And co-inspiration. Yet healing can happen and learning can happen, and there is transformation that is gonna happen. Like, these things will happen, but they are not the focus. They are symptoms of initiating ourselves together, or life initiating itself through us together.
Mm. You said to me a few days ago or 2 weeks ago, Newton.
Newton.
My name is Nitzan. So he rephrased it to Newton. Yeah, I feel that I'm in a process of defining a new self, and that's why I'm joining this journey with you guys, and that's why it's definite yes for me. From a place to it's time to live, really to live my life, and not just to be living in a life. You know what I mean?
Are suiciding on life.
Exactly. If you want to phrase it like this, yeah, it's a non-brainer. Non-brainer. Sorry for my English. It's not my native language. So yeah, it's not the language that's important. It's the intention. And my intention is for us to bring the best experience to this community that we are building in Iceland, in this journey as a start, or maybe it started before I came, before I joined you. And my intention is to follow the feeling, to follow what feels good or not good, and not to follow it, like to listen to my emotions as I go. And I believe that this journey can help me to do that in a natural way, with me being me, being new being, being me, being water.
What comes to me with your sharing, it's like follow is like same etymologic root as flow, and with the feeling, so maybe possible to say with the emotion, so flow with the energy that is in motion, in a way, like of the natural flow of life.
Amazing.
It's a way, a suggestion for concentration of summarization of your sharing.
And Netsan, I want to just shine light upon you, sister, were it not for your capacity to transmit, conduct, inform, be this that you are for us and our participants that are coming. I know not how I would calibrate all of this into something that is a show and tell the way you do it, Darlene. So to our participants, may I just invite you to get in touch through Nitsan, for she is a library of heart-sourced, crystal, very dynamic communication. Yeah, she operates systems the way that I am just beginning to learn. So she's there with you to land into this platform. And I really have never worked with someone who is as gifted as you are, Darlene, at this that you do. I
Thank
love
you.
you. I cherish you. And wow, my house is waiting for you. My mountain is waiting.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Come.
Thank you for your kind words, and I want to let the participant, the people, the souls that are watching, that I'm with you guys. We are in this together. It's my first time too. Come, let's do it. Let's share this experience together. Yeah, and I'm coming from a place that I don't know. I know nothing. And I'm allowing myself to help you to maybe discover some things in our journey here. And yeah, I want a good company. So if you if you relate to what we say, if you connect to us, come. It's going to be fun. It's going to be joyful. It's going to be... Yeah, I can feel it. If you feel it too, please enter the link in the description on YouTube, and yeah, explore more. All the details are there. Just get in touch with us, and we are more than welcome to answer every question on WhatsApp, Telegram. Just leave on Telegram. If you are on Telegram, please send me the code. I want to find you. So email, WhatsApp, Telegram, just get in touch, and we will help you to understand, to get clarity, to answer your questions. Please, you're more than welcome to feel free. You are already our friends, okay? If you're watching and you got until this end of this video, you're already part of it. So come.
Bless you.
Simple as that. Just get in touch. We'll speak. We'll find a way that it will work.
We are here for you. And I'm so delighted to be with you, Aviv and Nitzan. Oh! Okay, let September come.